Alright, Periscope, good evening. How is everybody? Going to give people a few minutes to join as usual. I've been away for like a week. I've not done a scope since last Wednesday, which was last Wednesday night's book club. I missed this Monday because I've been interviewing some amazing casting directors. Nina's here straight away. Good evening, Nina. How are you? Nina, I was just saying I've not been on a scope for a week. We're not done book club for a week. I missed Monday's Mind Hacks and Motivation. Carla, good evening. It's a new name I don't recognise. Let us know where you're viewing from. But yes, I've not scoped for a week. My name's Ross, for those who don't know me. I'm an actor and a voiceover artist from Manchester here in the UK. Scope twice a week normally. On a Monday we do something called Motivation and Mind Hacks, which are kind of like personal development hacks, motivation hacks, productivity hacks, things that are going to get you further in your career faster, particularly if you're an actor. Nina says she's missed me. Missed you too, Nina. I missed the whole gang. Hopefully everyone's going to rejoin tonight and not just forget that we've done this for the last 6 months. And then on a Wednesday night, guys, Wednesday nights we do something called Book Club, which is basically where we take a book, not necessarily from the acting industry. It can be anything to do with personal change, biohacking, mind hacking, anything that's going to keep you productive and keep you working. And we look at it for 4 weeks over the space of a month. So we do 4 chapters effectively, and then if you like the book, you can go out and buy it from Amazon. Read the rest of the chapters. We cover 4. Last week we looked at, Nina, what did we look at last week? Last week we looked at a question. So this is Anthony Meindl's book, by the way, guys. Brand new book by a top LA acting coach, Anthony Meindl. Awesome book. It's called Book the Effing Job. He's very to the point in his titling of his books. And it must be like 65 questions that he covers within the book, and it's split into 3 sections. So it goes the head, questions that we ask ourselves, about ourselves as actors, the heart, and then the industry. So there's questions from the head, the heart, and the industry. We've looked at a question from the head, we looked at a question from the heart. Tonight it's time to look at a question from the industry. And people voted last week, because I always throw the vote open, and you'll get to vote at the end of this scope for what you want to look at next week. People voted for the big question, the big part of the industry, which is this one. If you can see it there. Do I have talent? Nina, yeah, absolutely. People are taking ages to join tonight, but Nina will just read this book. Verona's here. Good evening, Verona. Sometimes people have a little bit of hassle getting on, but yeah, let's give people like a minute before we start looking at this tonight. Tony Rossi is in the house all the way from the States. Good to see you, Tony. Good evening, Verona. I won't start any of this for a bit, well, at least for a minute or so, until we've got a few more people online. Let me know what you've been doing. I've not spoken to anybody for a week, so let me know what you've been doing this week. Anyone had any auditions? Anyone nothing to do with the acting industry? Anyone done anything exciting, done anything cool? I've recorded a few new podcasts this week. I recorded one on Monday with the Doctor Who casting director, Andy Pryor, one of the biggest casting directors we have in the UK over here. I'll play you I might be able to play you a little preview of that. I've got it on my computer here. A little preview of that at the end of the scope for those who want to stay on. Filming my cat commercial tomorrow. Amazing. Yeah, Nina landed a cat commercial for cat food, Purina, although other cat foods are available. And you're filming that tomorrow. That's amazing, Nina. And she said in the audition, she had to audition with real cats. The cats hissed at her. So it'll be interesting to see how you get on with those, Nina. Fingers crossed you won't be bitten and scratched to death on set. Hopefully that'll all go well for you. And if you get a bit peckish, if you don't often get fed that well on set sometimes, you can just tuck into some nice meaty chicken and beef Purina or whatever it is that you're going to be promoting for the cats. But yeah, well done on that. So that's really, really cool. Anyone else got any acting jobs? Any auditions? Like I say, I was interviewing Andy Pryor, casting director, on Monday. I did a great interview last night as well in Media City with director Chris Stone, who we all know joins the Periscope sometimes. And unfortunately, I'm gutted because today, when I got to start editing the footage, it didn't happen in tests, and we tested and tested and tested. There's a loose connector in my wireless microphone that fits on my belt at the back here when I'm doing these video shoots, and I didn't realise, and we didn't pick it up on the people who were monitoring the phones. I don't know how it wasn't picked up. but my audio cuts in and out all the time. I've tried to edit around it, but I think it's unusable, so we're going to have to film it again next week. I've kind of broke the news to Chris. I just hope he wants to do it again. My show's on Channel 4 online now. Girls Go Trolling was on front page next to the IT crowd. What is it, Verona? And what do you mean it's on Channel 4 like now? We can watch it online now. And what are you in it? Girls Go Trolling, like online trolling, like what I get on Periscope sometimes, where people decide they're just going to troll the scope. That's really cool. I'll watch that after this. Everyone should go and watch it. Tony Rossi, what's happening stateside? Is it worth us coming over for a job? Sammy Sue's here. Good evening, Sam. We waited for you. We're having a little bit of inane chat right now. So a couple of other people joined, so we could all read the chapter together. It's a short chapter, guys. It's 3 pages, but I hope it's gonna be a profound moment for you this evening. Just got back in from work, says Sam. Well, Sam, you've joined at the right time. Look at you. I'm gonna give people 1 more minute. Now, Andy's one casting director I want to get a meeting with. Well, you can listen to the podcast, Nina, and he talks about generals that he does, general episodes. Verona's acting, general auditions. 6 episodes I was reading about Verona. She's acting silly in 6 episodes. That's amazing in your Girls Go Trolling. Come over. I'm interning at an acting school and taking a class right now. What, literally right now? Ruth's just joined. Good to see you, Ruth. I knew if we hung on, everyone would just start piling in. Ruth's probably doing a radio show. Tony, if you're doing an acting class right now, get your phone at the front of the class. I'll just give a reading to everybody. Just go, look, guys, we're going to have a 5-minute break. Although it won't be, will it? It's normally like half an hour. No, right, not right at this moment, he says. All right, that's good. I was going to say, if you're doing an acting class right now, it might be inappropriate just to be watching me on your phone. But I don't know. Maybe you could get away with it if you've done your bit already. Not on radio right now, says Ruth. Right, let's have a look at this question then, guys. So the question you voted for last week, mentioned it just a little bit, but for those who have joined now, it is, do I have talent? It's a question that we all ask ourselves initially, I think, when we're getting into acting, particularly when we go, right, I'm going to go professional, this is what I'm going to try and achieve with my life. But how many times do you find yourself asking it, like, regularly? Like, once you've committed to being an actor? Just Jennifer is here. Hey, I've got so much talent, she says. Just Jennifer's got a lot of talent. Just Jennifer, if you're for all the girls on the scope or girls watching the replay, Just Jennifer is an actress as well. She's a voiceover artist, but she also vlogs online about kind of like looking good, makeup kind of stuff, but not in like a Kim Kardashian shit kind of way. In like this is just how you can do 5 minutes a day to make yourself look good, feel better, be more confident. Selena's here. Good evening. Yeah, so she's not one of those Insta bitches who just make everyone else feel bad. Jennifer's about empowering girls to look their best and go out there and be great. Sorry for being late, says Selena. Don't worry about it, Selena. We were waiting for people anyway, so it's cool. So yeah, back to this. Do I have talent? So how many times have you asked yourself since you've committed to what you do professionally, whether you're an actress or whatever you are, actor, makeup artist, plumber, racing driver, do you ask yourself, do I have talent, even though you've committed to doing that? If you've done that recently, give me some comments. I go to work with no makeup on in the morning, ain't got time for that in the morning, says Sam. Well, you might have if you watch Jen's stuff, because it's like 5-minute little things to do with your hair. I don't get it because I'm a bloke, but you know what I mean, it looks good. Anyway, let's start reading this, only 3 pages. It says, this is Anthony's book, by the way. Anthony says, in the HBO documentary, and let me know if you've seen this documentary, because I haven't and I really want to get it, and I don't know where you get it from. I would love to get it online if you can get hold of it, but I can't find it. Ruth said she spent 30 years questioning my own talent, and I'm still doing it. I think we all do to a certain extent, Ruth, but carry on listening and you'll, Anthony will hopefully put you on the right track. So in the HBO documentary Casting By, who's seen it? But it was with the late casting director Marion Doherty. She talks about how it didn't really matter to her if actors bombed auditions. She didn't care, right? Or if they sucked at audition or weren't great all the time. What mattered is that she saw something in them. You know, and she knew that eventually there would be a role that would come along to match the essence of that particular person. Andy Pryor said the same thing on Monday. I said, what would you say to someone, Andy, who had just flunked an audition? He said, people don't really flunk auditions completely, or if they do, Christine, good evening, just let it go. You know, you're not going to be perfect all the time, okay? And that didn't matter for Marion Doherty either, you know, one of the greatest casting directors to ever have lived. Anthony says she should know, as she discovered all kinds of talent from Al Pacino and John Voight to Glenn Close and Diane Lane. All of these varied human beings whose careers she helped start certainly are originals. That's the common denominator though. And also that she always trusted her gut about people. Hey Christine, Andy Pryor said that one of his last things that he said to me was always trust your gut. I said that as if like he died. He hasn't, I just mean the last thing in the interview. One of the last things he said in the podcast that I'm going to release in a couple of days. He said, always trust your gut because it's generally right. From a scientific standpoint, oh no, I've missed a sentence here guys, wait a second. He says, and it sort of raises the question, what is talent? Does everyone have it? And what is it? Okay, from a scientific standpoint, yes, we all possess innate inner talent. We all have vast resources of potential and possibility within us, waiting to be uncovered and utilised. The process for actors, and for all people really, is about discovering, cultivating, nurturing, harnessing, and finally expressing that talent. And that takes work. So scientifically, yeah, we all have. Give me some hearts if you think you were born with some innate talent. Tap the screen, let me see them coming through, because you were. Everybody, they're coming through loud and clear. Everybody who was born on this planet has unique abilities, right? And sometimes you'll feel you want to be a bit like someone else, but I guarantee you they're probably feeling that they want to be a bit like you as well. So they want to have what you have to offer, and you want to have all the talents that other people have to offer, but you do have those innate talents and those unique abilities that are, you know, truly yours. Technique, Anthony says, is simply a vehicle for letting your talent be expressed. Ruth says we are all unique. We are, Ruth. Emotionally, instinctually, physically, and talent is simply how you do what you do. That's it really. It's how you do it, okay? Not how anyone else does it, it's how you do it. Your approach, your style, your intuition, your physiology. Chris Stone Films in the house. Good to see you, Chris. I spoke about you a minute ago. I'll speak about you again at the end. I've got to tell you about the interview and stuff and how it's all worked out. So your tendencies, your physicality, your hopes and fears, your passion and your pain, what you bring to a role is unlike what anyone else brings to it. It doesn't mean it's necessarily better, but it's uniquely yours because of your own personal life and that, you know, that life that you're living, and that's all you've got ever, this one life. When you realise that, that's all you've got to work with, you better bloody start working with it, alright? Talent then becomes about unapologetically bringing yourself to the work and being shown how to do that. And the only way you're going to do that and get there, besides having great casting directors ultimately seeing that quality, is by giving yourself permission. And I talk about this all the time. Just give yourself permission in life. Good evening, Chris. Boom, says Verona. Yeah, give yourself permission for lots of things. Give yourself permission to just be. Give yourself permission to let things go. That's a big one that people don't do. They hold on to all the shit in the past that they've done or they're guilty for or people have done to them and all this kind of stuff. And sometimes I get people literally, if I'm coaching someone, I get them to say out loud, I give myself permission to let that go. And just by saying that, it kind of releases something. If you're feeling something right now and you're like, I've been hung up about this all day, say it out loud, whatever it is. I give myself permission to let it go. And it really helps, but yeah, permission's a big thing. Anthony says, or as Tilda Swinton says, you're always playing yourself. It's all autobiography. Whatever you're doing, it's using the characters as a kind of prism through which to throw something real about yourself. So the character is a prism. You're throwing yourself through it, something real about you. Because the last thing you want is to look like you're acting. No one wants to look like they're acting. You can tell instantly, when you see anyone on TV and you go, God, I don't believe it, or if a friend's lying to you, you're like, I can tell you're acting. You don't want to look like you're acting. So everyone says, and it's so much easier said than done, but like the key to acting is not to act, right? Chris, you're a director. What do you think? The key to acting is not to act. How do people not act though? That's the question. It's, you know, it's difficult. It's tough because we live in a world where we're constantly seeking validation through the external. You'll all relate to this, and I relate to this because I still seek it sometimes. I still seek validation from people to almost confirm that I'm on the right track, that I'm still doing, you know, the right thing effectively. It says we're seeking validation through external things like Facebook acknowledgements, Twitter mentions, Instagram likes, casting callbacks, agency acceptance. So when you get a new agent, you're like, yeah, okay, I've got validation, I must be good. And when we do that, we then compare ourselves to what we think everyone else is living and succeeding at. You know, so when I know actors who like will get a call from someone and the call will be like, oh hey, yeah, I've just got this job, and you can tell through gritted teeth that they're kind of like, oh yeah, well done, that's really good, because instantly they feel like shit. It's not because they don't want that person to get a job, it's because they feel that they don't have the validation that person's just received. So they feel bad in themselves because we're constantly seeking it. But I feel that when you can just be good, you know, kind of happy with yourself, you don't need it from everybody else. When you know, follow your gut, like we just mentioned, instinctually, you know you're following the right path and you're doing the right thing, and your time will come. Michael Fassbender had a watershed moment, and I want everyone, it's a big ask, right, but I want everyone on this scope to have this watershed moment, right? He had it in his career when he finally decided that he was good enough. He certainly is, and Anthony says, and so are you. Everybody watching this, so are you. You're good enough to get the job and have an agent and be on a show and get paid for your work and have an amazing career. It's okay to have doubts. Partly by having them, you'll come to the conclusion that you're probably good enough. When you start questioning it and go, well, am I good enough? Well, I've had a job in the past. Yeah, I've had an agent in the past. Or yes, someone's told me they enjoy my performance. You know, it's kind of like breaking down those limiting beliefs that I try help people break down all the time. Doubts often fuel us and are necessary. They're a necessary part of the creative process. Without them, we'd become fanatical, dogmatic, and intolerant of the process of life itself. At the height of his success during the run of A Streetcar Named Desire, and for a long time afterwards, Mr. Marlon Brando, battled what I had been taught as a child, that I was worthless. That's a quote from him. He battled what he had been taught as a child, that he was worthless. And those limiting beliefs that are instilled in you as kids, trust me, will stay with you your entire life unless you break them down and get rid of them. He says, you know, remember to also have doubts in your doubts. I say this to everybody. I say, look, it's time to stop believing your doubts, and it's time to start doubting your beliefs. Good, that, innit? Stop believing your doubts and start doubting your beliefs. And when you start doubting a belief, it's then no longer a belief. It becomes just an idea. You know, so you might go, okay, well, I don't feel talented. Okay, well, if you go, well, I'm going to doubt that because I might be talented, then it's just an idea that you might not be talented. And then you can go, okay, well, can I prove that idea by adding factual evidence to it? And I promise you won't be able to do that. He says, that's the reason you ask the question, because you doubt whether or not you are. What if you could have doubts and also be talented at the same time? Picasso did, so did Marilyn Monroe, so did Steve Jobs, so did Brando. So does everyone, so will you. Boom, Anthony Meindl. That's that chapter. It's just 3 pages, guys. But ultimately, yeah, it all boils down. Kat, good evening. It all boils down to just, and it's hard, it's really fucking difficult, but just to accept that you are good enough and just try and get people all the time to start expecting life to just, you know, come to them easier. Success come to you easier. If you're constantly putting the idea into your head that success is hard, that friends are hard, that validation is hard, that money is hard to get, all these things are difficult, then you're kind of like subconsciously just putting barriers in the way. When you start telling yourself that success is easy, I am good enough, I can do it, of course I can earn good money, you know, of course I can afford that, I'll be able to get that. It's almost like, you know, things will come easy to you, I promise you. I don't know why it works that way, but it does. But when you accept that you're good enough and that you do have talent, think life will just, you know, you open your arms to the world, and the world will open its arms to you. I promise you. So it's a pretty sweet chapter. It's good. If you enjoyed it, hit me with some hearts. Let me know your thoughts. Do you doubt yourself often? Do you question your talent? Have you questioned yourself today whether you're talented? You know, sometimes before I put a piece of content out on the website, on actsonthis.tv, get yourself over there, or a new podcast or something like that, I go, God, like, are people actually going to listen to this? Do people actually care? Or, like, you know, do they think that I'm good at this? And I've been doing it like 5 or 6 years, and I still get it. Honestly, I send that email out to go, guys, there's a new podcast out on the site, and I'm waiting for those first emails to come through going, Ross, this was really good, thanks for this. Because it's innate, isn't it? It's just built into us. But, you know, the more we can expect things to just work out for us, I think, you know, the more that they do. So we've got one more week on this book, guys. We can vote for one more question that we're going to answer next week. I'll give you 3 that I think are good ones, and then you can all vote on the one that you want. And if you want to read obviously all the rest of it, go get it. If you're watching this on the replay on actsonthis.tv, there'll be a link to the book, to Anthony's book, below this video. You can go and buy it from Amazon. It's about 15 quid, I think, but it's a really, really good book, and it's written so well because it's just like matter of fact, exactly how Anthony talks. So I'll choose one question from the head section, one from the heart, and one from the industry, and you tell me which one you want. Okay, from the head, what about this? How do I emotionally prep? So say you've got an emotional role, an audition for an emotional role. How do I emotionally prep? That's one question we could answer. The other one is, what am I so scared of? Because that'll resonate with a lot of people. Sometimes I have to ask myself that. I go, why are you feeling nervous? What are you scared of? And there's actually nothing to be scared of. So what am I scared of? So the first one was, how do I emotionally prep? What am I so scared of? And the last one from the industry section of the book, let's see if I've got a good one here. What's the best advice you can give an actor? So which one do you want us to look at next week? What's the best advice you can give an actor? Why am I so scared? Or how do I emotionally prep? And we will answer that on next week's book club on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. So get your votes in now, and we'll see what you want. Advice, so best advice you give an actor, Sam wants. Any more for any more? Advice, says Selena. So that's 2 for advice. I think that's a great one, isn't it, though? It's kind of like the ultimate question, isn't it? Scared, says Verona. So that's 2 for advice, 1 for scared. Any more for any more? Just Jennifer, what would you want to look at? Best advice, that's 3. It's 3 to 1. It looks like it's going in advice's favour. It's definitely is. No more votes are coming through. People are scared. What are you so scared of? Why are you so scared of voting? Or maybe you're web viewers and you actually can't type, because you can't type if you're a web viewer, which is fair enough. Best advice, I've missed lots, been in Cornwall and still am, will catch up when back with all. That's alright, Kat, no worries, hope you're enjoying Cornwall, which is cool. I love Cornwall. I went to Cornwall every year as a kid for about 12 years because my mum was petrified of going abroad, so we always had to go to Cornwall because she didn't want to go anywhere where there was insects. But it is beautiful, it's a great place, really, really cool. Guys, I'll give you a little sneak peek of, Sam says me too. Oh, see, I have to do this like this now. I'm looking to see what I'm clicking behind there. A little sneak peek of Andy Pryor, Doctor Who casting director Andy Pryor. A little bit about how he cast the latest Doctor Who companion, Pearl Mackie. It's just been cast. 28-year-old actress, great actually, really great actress, very funny. Just been cast as Doctor Who's assistant. I'll play you a little bit of the interview. There's a little sneak peek for coming on here, and I'm going to release this interview probably tomorrow, I think. See if I can turn it off. I'm going to lean over here so it touches the, it gets closer to the mic.
I don't know, what are the kind of like the highlights of casting a role so big as that? Do you feel the pressure of it? Where do you begin? Well, I always say that all casting really rests with the writing. It's, you know, that's what we're serving, that's what we want to get our teeth into and understand in order to cast a role. And Stephen Moffat had this idea for Bill, the companion, and talked about it in general terms to me for a bit, and then wrote some scenes specifically for audition purposes. And because he writes characters so well, he writes dialogue so well, you instantly get a bit of a sense of who this person might be. And then I'd already started to kind of make lists of people and get my feelers out and think about who we might meet for that part. But once I got the scenes up, that sort of narrowed it down.
Right.
Still to quite a large number.
Because the stuff, I mean, stuff like that is going to be, obviously, I guess it's invite only. You're not putting stuff like that out on Spotlight.
No, I mean, oddly, on most jobs, we actually really like putting the word out and getting left field suggestions from agents and, you know, looking for ideas everywhere. I always think, you know, a good idea is a good idea no matter where it came from. And, you know, I don't mind giving the credit away if someone has come up with a brilliant idea.
Da, da, da. So yeah, it's a good interview. What was that? I've missed the comments because I'm just basically leaning over here. I've not been able to watch the screen. What you all saying? Could you hear that? By the way, I presume you could hear it. But we should all be in Doctor Who, I reckon. One of my first jobs on TV was with Peter Capaldi, and he wasn't Doctor Who at the time, and now he is Doctor Who. I'm like, sweet. Doctor Who's on my bloody show reel, isn't he? That's pretty sweet. He wasn't Doctor Who at the time though. So yeah, I'm going to release that on actonthis.tv sometime in the morning. I'm just going to, once I finish this, I'm going to record the intro and the outro to it. I'm going to edit it all, and then I'll put it out sometime. I'm doing a voiceover job tomorrow morning, so sometime tomorrow afternoon. You better go to actonthis.tv to listen to it. So cheers for joining us, guys. I'll be back next Monday for a Periscope, a Motivation and Mind Hacks Periscope, keeping you motivated and inspired and mind hacked up. And I'm going to release a podcast on Friday, the 5 to Thrive podcast, which is like a mini Periscope. Go to iTunes, search for Act on This TV, get the Act on This TV podcast, subscribe. People are giving it 5-star reviews, lots of lovely comments. Please review it, tweet about it, let your friends know, and subscribe because you'll get a brand new episode delivered to your device for free every week. Oh yeah, D-Day on Sunday. Crikey. Yeah, we're also... Nothing happened on Monday, Verona, because I was interviewing Andy. I was in London, so I couldn't do a Periscope Monday. I forgot, this Sunday, the 22nd of May, is the Manchester Run, and there's loads of people from the Acts on This community and the Bulletproof Actor community who are going to be running it. Will someone please set up a post in the Facebook group? And if you're watching this and you're not part of the Facebook group, come and join facebook.com/groups/ActOnThisTV. Sam, will you set up a post in the group? Please, admin Sam, and then we can actually find a meeting point and how we're all going to meet. And because basically what we'll do is we're all running it as a team. So whoever's been given the numbers where you would be in the pens that set off faster, you can't move up a pen, but you can move back a pen. So whoever's got the slowest like colour, we'll all run with them, so we can all go back. Definitely. Sometimes there's parking suggestions too. Yeah, people are in the north. The train's brilliant though, and it's free if you've got your running number on throughout the whole of like Manchester. So yeah, so pink starts later on, Sam. So we'll probably all be running in the pink wave then. I think that might be the last one. So we'll get everybody running it together because we're only as strong as the slowest man or woman. But I want to cross the line together, like because a lot of people I run all the time. There's a lot of people who've never ran before, and I want to push you through it. Get you on it. So if you're not registered, you can't yet. But come and watch, come and cheer everybody on. Get out in Manchester. Right, I'll leave you to it, guys. Do that, Sam. Though that will be brilliant. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back on Monday, like I say. Get the podcast on Friday, 5 to Thrive. Search for Act on This TV on iTunes. Appreciate every last one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Hope that's helped tonight. And I'll be back soon. Come and join the Facebook group. Join the community. What have I done now? What are you saying, Nina? Put some pics on Facebook. Yeah, I will. Definitely. I thought I'd cut you off too early there. Awesome. Right, have a good one, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.